All right, so let's talk about this evidence that came out yesterday. I think it was really shocking for a lot of people, Rod, on two fronts. The laundry bag. We now know that Kaylee's body was placed inside this laundry bag as well as a trash bag. And then hearing about this duct tape and this heart-shaped sticker. Let's talk about the laundry bag first. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, the whole thing with the laundry bag is it was available, it was convenient to Casey at the point in which she decided she needed something to put, obviously, her young child's body in. And so that's why she probably utilized the laundry bag. And then as a result of using the laundry bag, she decided to use probably like a green plastic hefty bag or something like that to even conceal it even further. So it's not really a big surprise that she decided to use those two items. See, that's the reason, Amy, why the police were so focused on the home in which Casey lived initially. During the earlier part of this investigation, the police really spent a lot of time there, and they were focusing on if, in fact, Kaylee's body was put into something, what would it have been? And that's why they focused primarily on the green bags, the trash bags.
All right, and let's talk about this duct tape. Now, we knew, a while ago that there was duct tape placed over Kaylee's mouth, but now we're hearing about this heart-shaped sticker. What does that say to you?
That's right. Right, the heart-shaped sticker means two things. It can mean one of two things. Obviously, the first one, and I think the one that's more significant in this case, is this: that she left the heart on the duct tape, which was affixed to the mouth, for a reason. That's a symbol of love, okay? And she probably regretted doing what she did, and I have no doubt that Casey regretted doing what she did. I think the woman actually is insane. But she put the duct tape over her child's mouth. She was probably whispering to the child to be quiet, telling her, "I love you." And then after the child probably expired, she put this little symbol of love, which was the heart shape, over the duct tape. And that's exactly what that meant. The only other alternative as to why that heart shape would be on the duct tape is if this was a serial murder. And this is real interesting here, because we do see cases, and we have seen cases, Amy, in the past, where serial murders will leave a heart-shaped symbol on the body of the victim. But that represents more than just love. That represents something more symbolic of a group of people, and that's why serial killers are the only exception to that. So you have serial killers, and you have the mother who obviously loved the child but did what she did because she's probably insane.
Rod, let's talk about what this evidence means to the defense team and to the prosecution. Who does this help?
Well, obviously, it's definitely going to help the prosecution, and clearly, what's happening here, the police department, along with the prosecution, are building the case. They're continuing to build the case, and that's what they're trying to do, is show a pattern of behavior, Amy, in which Casey engaged in terms of at her residence. When this thing first went down, she was on the internet searching for ways to take a person's life, to take her child's life. So they're showing a pattern. They're showing clearly, I think, in this case, and there's going to be overwhelming evidence to support this, that this woman had means, she had reason to do what she did, and she also had the ability and capability to do what she did, and that's why, in fact, she was the one who ultimately will probably be shown that took her child's life and then put the baby's body out there in the forest area.
Rod, we're hearing that the defense is already trying to build up a case against the meter reader who discovered the remains, this Roy Kronk fellow, that perhaps he picked up this bag and actually took it home with him before actually reporting what was in it. I mean, is this something that you think will fly before a jury?
Absolutely not. And this is not going to fly. Now, I will say it's not unusual, though, Amy, and I think the viewers should really try to understand this. It's not unusual for a defense attorney to do exactly what Jose Baez is doing for Casey. That's what his job is to do, to try to discount, obviously, whatever information, whatever evidence there is against his client. He's trying to do that the best he can. This is not going to be easy for him to do. Remember one thing, and this is so important, and this is Criminology 101. This case is built primarily, and I think solely, on direct evidence. There's so much direct evidence. Initially, we had a lot of circumstantial evidence, what ifs. But now that we have a body, now that we have the forensic evidence to support the theories, this case is going to be built strictly, and I think solely, on direct evidence. And a direct evidence case is a very difficult case for any defense attorney to win.
Rod, one of the things we're hearing about Casey's parents, the grandparents, is that they still very much believe that their daughter is innocent of this crime. You deal, as part of what you deal with the families of the accused. Is this unusual to see a family that is so indignant that their loved one did nothing wrong?
No, that's an excellent question, Amy. You know, we see that more often than not. And the reason I say that that's an excellent question is because if you think about human behavior, parents tend to always want to believe they're the last ones. If you're going to convince anybody, excuse me, that their child did something wrong, in this case that Casey has done something wrong, the parents will be the last person in the world or the last people in the world to believe that their child has done something wrong. So it's not unusual for the parents to go all the way, if you will. They'll go all the way to the day that the verdict is read, actually, until they believe it, if they ever believe that their child has done something wrong.
Rod Wheeler, live from Washington for us tonight. Rod, as always, thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Sure. Thank you, Amy.